Hi everyone, hope everyone's having a good week so far. Um, so for this week's discussion, something that I'd like to talk about from Berger's chapter for this week is the debunking motif. Um, and I guess a question that I would have is like, what is, or a prompt that I would like to discuss is, what is the debunking motif and how does it show up in our everyday lives, or how does it change a sociologist's understanding of everyday social situations? So, I guess an analogy or like a way that I was kind of understanding debunking motif is like a sociologist, or sorry, like to any normal person, like watching a movie, like you see the characters, you see the set, the storyline, like everything that's in your face, and is being presented to you. But like a sociologist is more of like a movie critic, and they're looking at like the behind the scenes and like what like the types of shots that are being used and like what message that's displaying, or like the director and their approach to movies, things like that. Just like things that are behind the curtain that gives you a better understanding, or I guess the idea of like what's really going on here. So it's just like a deeper dive. Um, Kind of just like looking behind the wallpaper curtain, as I said. But ways that this shows up in like social structure and how debunking motif alters a sociologist's perspective to social situations. Some ideas would be like romantic relationships, like what really drives marriage. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's obviously love, it's attraction, things like that. Whereas like a sociologist would like using debunking motif would look deeper into it and like, is it more driven by like class or income, education, race, things like that, that might strongly guide a marriage, or um, yeah, something that would like build that attraction or drive the relationship. Some other examples would be like thinking about like the government, or like a governor of a city. A lot of people will look at like the state of the city or the elected officials, whereas the sociologist would kind of dive into um, like the interests of power, or the interests of people in power, the corporations in power, even like the crime organizations, things that really show like the real like behind the scenes state of the city and like what the government is doing. Um, what else is in my notes? So, yeah, anyway, so like I said before, I think debunking motif is really just um, asking the question of what's really going on, and kind of being more suspicious and like checking under the carpet where like a lot of things get swept under. It's just being more vigilant and seeing like these little details that are usually not as apparent, and kind of like getting a better understanding or building a story from that. So anyways, thank you guys so much, and looking forward to hearing what you guys had to say.